Before we start, if guys are love this content, then please make sure to subscribe our channel and join UU Army. It's really mean a lot. And this story is not written by me, so original story creator, link is given in description box. Let's get started. You almost had me there, Zabuza, and why is there a woman with a knife at your neck? Goku's grin gone, replaced with a look of confusion. Kid, how dumb are fighting against some Jounin level shinobi like Zabuza? Do you have a death wish or something? The woman screamed at Goku. Zabuza then got a funny idea that came to mind. Goku, this is Kurenai, the Genjutsu mistress of Konoha and Chess, trying to kill me. I need some help, Zabuza said with fake anime tears running down his eyes. Kurenai looked at the swordsman like he was crazy before she heard a growl. She looked up to see Goku's onyx eyes were narrowed and sharpened. Release him now, demanded the now angry Saiyan. Kurenai had to admit this kid had balls to talk, much less demand anything from her. Kid, I don't know who you think you are, but you better run off now, she said, as her eyes narrowed at the Saiyan. I will give you one last chance to release Zabuza or else, Goku said, eyes never leaving Kurenai's. Or else what, she said, and expected the kid to back down. But sadly she doesn't know Goku is actually a man who saved his universe countless times and was stuck in his childhood body. Kurenai blinked and Goku vanished from sight. Her eyes widened at the speed the Saiyan showed before he phased in front of her. The Genjutsu mistress felt pain and seen stars dance in her vision as Goku backhanded her and sent the Jounin flying into the river. Kurenai-sensei shouted, Hinata. That's it, this kid is going down, Kiba said, while Akamaru growled in agreement. Kiba activated his man-beast transformation where he got on all fours like a dog, and his pet changed into an exact copy of him. Fang over Fang, said Kiba, who jumped and began to spin in a mini tornado. Goku turned his head and seen the tornado-like attack spiraling towards him. The Z-fighter threw his hands forward and caught the attack before it reached him. As the spinning attack died down, you could see the shocked faces of Kiba and Akamaru. Gripping both of their wrists tight, Goku began to swing them fast until dirt began to rise around them like a small dust hurricane. Goku released Kiba and his carbon copy and sent them crashing into the forest around them. Goku turned to the rest of Team 8 and took his battle stance. While this was happening, Zabuza was watching and laughing his ass off. Unknown to both of them, Kakashi was watching in a tree above and could help but chuckle quietly as Goku sent his fellow Jounin in a river and threw one of her students into the forest. Never underestimate an opponent, Kurenai, even if he or she looks like a kid, because you never know how powerful they might be, Kakashi thought. Goku felt prickling go up his legs and looked down to see what looked like a whole army of bugs crawling up his legs. The Saiyan tried to brush them off, but they kept on coming. It's useless, my insects will drain your chakra before you can get them off your body, Shino said while adjusting his glasses. The bugs began to swarm Goku until it formed a small cocoon on him. There, it's done, now we wait until he's out of chakra, Shino said to his teammate, who noted, but she was still concerned for her other teammate and sensei. Suddenly you could hear a lot of popping, and Shino looked over to see the hive of insects he sent at the kid. Burst. Oh, okay Goku, that's enough comedy for one day, Zabuza said, and Goku turned to see him chuckling at his confused expression. What do you mean comedy, Zabuza-san? You told me she was trying to kill you, Goku said, while the swordsman laughed out loud. No Gaki, she was not trying to kill me, it was a joke, but seeing her get a beat down along with her team was funny as hell to watch. Goku then understood that Zabuza had tricked him. The Saiyan turned to Kurenai, who coughed up more blood and saliva. 1634 She seems to be seriously injured, maybe we should do something? Zabuza said while an idea popped into Goku's head. His hand searched his guy's pockets before he pulled out a small bean. Goku frowned at seeing this was his last senzu bean, but he accidentally injured Kurenai, so he had to do what's right. He walked over to the fallen Genjutsu mistress, and when her team seen him approaching there, he took their battle stances. Goku held up his hands as surrender and defense. Guys, calm down, this was an accident, Zabuza-san tricked me into believing your sensei was trying to kill him. Goku rubbed the back of his head, embarrassed about the whole situation. Team 8 dropped their fighting stances before attending Kurenai. Goku crouched next to the fallen Jounin and placed the bean in her mouth. Chew it and swallow, I guarantee you will feel a whole lot better, Kurenai-san. Doing as she was told, she chewed and swallowed the strange bean. The Jounin's eyes widened as she felt her chakra levels restore and begin to increase. Her injuries healed, and she felt no pain. What was that you gave me, Kurenai asked, and Goku gave his famous sun grin. It's a senzu bean, a little bean, that can heal any and all injuries, while leaving you full for 10 days, Goku said, which got teammate to stare in disbelief. The Saiyan held out a hand which Kurenai took and helped her to her feet. I think we might have gotten off on the wrong foot, Kurenai-san. My name is Son Goku, he said. Nice to meet someone so young, yet strong enough to fight a Jounin, she grinned at Goku. Kurenai then pointed at Kiba. Goku-kun, this is Kiba. Inuyasaka. Kiba nodded his head, while an arrogant, yet friendly smirk crossed his face. She pointed to the kid with the glasses. This is Shino. Broom. Shino adjusted his glasses and gave off his own nod. I'm sorry about your bugs, Shino-sen. Think nothing of it, Goku-sen. You did what you had to do to survive, and besides I can always find more insects. The regularly quiet Shino said. Kurenai then pointed to the girl in the jacket with blue hair and lavender eyes. And last, but certainly not least, this is Hinata Hyuga. Kurenai said. Nice to meet you, Hinata-sen, and you have strong strikes with those palms of yours, Goku said, while Hinata blushed from his praise. Thanks, Go. Goku-kun stuttered a shy Hinata. Above them another figure appeared next to Kakashi wearing a Chunin vest and had a scar across his nose. Kakashi looked up from his book to see Iruka standing before him. Greetings, Iruka-sen. Did you enjoy the fight? Kakashi asked, which got a sigh from Iruka. At first, when you told me how strong this kid was, I didn't believe you, but seeing this changes everything, Iruka said. So you have a change of heart about if I should enter my team or not in the Chunin exam. They tried taking my energy, so I gave them what they wanted. It seems like your insects couldn't handle it, Goku smirked before phasing out of sight. Shino doubled over in pain as Goku buried his fist into Shino's gut. Since the Abroom clan used their bugs and didn't practice Taijutsu, there was no way for Shino to defend himself. Goku jumped up and delivered a fierce roundhouse kick which sent the bug user to the other side of the field. Trigram 64 palms. Goku turned to the last member of Team 8 to see her already in motion. Hinata began to strike Goku with the fighting technique that made the Hyuga clan fierce opponents. 1634 2 palms. 4 palms. 8 palms. The attacks kept coming as Hinata attempted to close Goku's chakra points. Just one problem, though Goku didn't use chakra, so there was not any points to close. Hinata got down to the last strike of her technique. 64 palm strike, Hinata shouted, but at the last second Goku caught her outstretched palm. Hinata's Byakugan eyes widened as no one in the history of the shinobi world has ever caught a Hyuga's fist while they were finishing the trigram 64 palm strike. Goku panted, even though he had no chakra points, it didn't mean those palm strikes didn't hurt like hell. Wow, that's some fighting technique there. It felt like you were hurting both my outsides and my insides, Goku said. Kurenai rose to the river's surface and gasped for air. She put her hand on her cheek, where the brat struck her, and she hissed in pain. She couldn't believe how hard the kid could hit. Her gaze drifted to see Goku catch Hinata's palm strike. Thinking he was going to hit Hinata, she raced out of the water and started to doing what she did best. She cast a Genjutsu on Son Goku. Goku was about to release Hinata from his grasp. He never liked hitting women, and the only ones he would ever strike would be the ones who threatened his friends, family, or the earth. Suddenly the tree from behind Hinata started to move. Goku looked at the tree as its branches snared his limbs and tied him to the trunk of the tree. The women he sent crashing into the river emerged from the trunk of the tree, kunai in hand. Goku struggled to free from the tree, but it won't budge. Face it, kid, you're trapped like a monkey who got caught by the tail, Kurenai said, and Goku stopped struggling. If there's anything you shouldn't call or compare a Saiyan to, it's a monkey. Goku growled before gathering his power and released a yell. Trees started to break and bend as Goku's power kept rising. Kurenai's eyes widened as the kid's chakra levels shot through the roof. Suddenly the illusion shattered and Goku was free of the tree that binded him. His onyx eyes glared at Kurenai, who gulped and put up her defense. Goku phased in front of the Jounin and swung with a right haymaker. Kurenai ducked the attack and attempted to punch Goku's midsection. Goku used his left hand to swat the attack away. Goku then landed a hard combo of 2 punches and a kick to the chest. Kurenai whipped out a few shuriken and kunais threw them as fast as she could. Goku was able to catch the shuriken, but had to dodge the kunai. He dodged most of them, but one made a cut across his right thigh. Goku hissed in pain before he crushed the shuriken in his hand. Kurenai was flabbergasted to see a boy who looked to be around the same age as her students crush metal shurikens with ease. Goku then had an idea and slipped into a stance most football players get into during a game. His hands placed onto the ground and his body into a crouch position. Before Kurenai knew what happened, Goku flew at her and elbowed her across the face. Goku then proceeded to kick Kurenai multiple times before he finally delivered a harsh blow to the gut. Kurenai doubled over in pain and coughed up a mixture of blood and saliva. Kiba finally came out of the woods holding his head, while Akamaru followed behind. When seeing his fallen sensei, Kiba ran and stood in front of her like a shield. Shino did the same thing except his right arm was around his bruised ribs. Hinata also joined her team, Byakugan activated and palms outstretched, ready to defend her sensei. Flashback, Kakashi returned back to the tower to see his fellow Jounin surrounding him, which consisted of the Genjutsu specialist Kurenai Yuhi, Asuma Saratobi and Konoha's supposed green beast guy. The Hokage blew out a puff of smoke as his eyes glanced from Jounin to another. Today, we're here to discuss the upcoming Chunin exams and I would like to know who wants to enter their team, the third asked, and seeing his son was the first to raise his hand. I assume Saratobi want to enter my team, which consists of Choji Akamichi, Shikamaru Nara and Ino Yumaka, Asuma said, and he turned to see his girlfriend Kurenai raise her hand as well. Kurenai Yuhi would also like to enter my team, which consists of Kiba Inuzaka, Shinoa Berman, Hinata Hyuga. Yash, I the beautiful green beast of Konoha, enter my team of Niji Hyuga, TNTN, Idkar last name, Emily Team 7, which consists of Sakura Haruno, Sasuke Chiha, Naruto Uzumaki and Son Goku will enter as well, Kakashi said, while the other Jounin looked at him for announcing a student they never heard of. Kakashi didn't pay them no mind as he read his book. 1634 Wait a minute, they're just fresh out of the academy, Jen, and you can't let them compete. Atlas, give them a year of experience. And who the hell is Son Goku, said Iruka. Son Goku is someone you shouldn't take lightly, as I will tell you now. If you do, I pray to Kami for your soul to be saved, Kakashi said, his eyes never leaving his book. Don't you think you're giving this kid a little bit too much credit, Kakashi, Iruka asked, and Kakashi looked up from his book with a nice smile. Nope, and if that don't convince you, then come with me after this, and I will show you why he isn't someone to take lightly, Kakashi said. Meeting dismissed, boomed the voice of the third Hokage. Flashback, and yes, I do believe everyone of them is ready for the Chunin exams, mostly Naruto though, Iruka said, and Kakashi nodded in agreement. Naruto has grown up a lot since becoming a genin, and even made friends with Sakura, Goku and even Sasuke, though we both know he won't admit it, Kakashi said. Naruto is destined for great things, Kakashi, just like his father, Iruka said. So you know who his parents are, huh? Kakashi asked, obviously amused. Iruka smiled and nodded his head in agreement. His mother Kushina would always babysit me whenever my own parents were busy, so in a way Naruto and I are like brothers. Kakashi put away his book before looking at the field, seeing both teammate Goku and Zabuza leaving. Well, Iruka, am going to be heading home. Kakashi vanished in a swirl of leaves while Iruka did the same. Goku walked around Konoha as people began to close down the shops for the night. The Saiyan seen a little stand named Ichiraku's ramen was still open. Goku laughed as his stomach growled, obviously demanding food. Goku entered the stand and seen a familiar head of yellow hair. Hey Naruto, Goku said, and the Kyuubi container turned to see his new friend and teammate sit by him with a smile. Goku, hey, how are you doing, asked Naruto. I'm fine, just a little hungry, and if you're here I guess you're starving as well. Naruto nodded his head and both laughed as their stomachs began to growl at the same time. After a few bowls of ramen, or as Naruto called it, the food of the gods, the Saiyan and Naruto left the ramen stand. Hey Naruto, is it okay if I sleep at your place tonight, Goku asked, and Naruto flashed his fox grin. Of course you can, it will be fun having a roommate, just get your own ramen, though, Naruto said, while smiling that he not only had a new friend and teammate, but also a roommate. Both Naruto and Goku made it to the blonde's apartment as night fell. Sorry, it's kinda small, it's just I live alone, and I don't have much people come over, so Naruto was trying to explain why his room was a little messy, but Goku waved it off. It's fine, Naruto, we better get to bed. Goku was given a blanket and pillow as he laid on the floor. Night, Naruto, good night. That's where I will stop this video at. So what did you think? Goku meeting and getting into a fight with teammate. Now has Naruto's roommate. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Keep looking out for more. And please subscribe our channel, it's really mean a lot. Thanks for watching, guys. Sayonara.